Venus, the second closest planet to the Sun, with an average temperature of 475 degrees Celsius or 900 degrees Fahrenheit, seems like the last place you'd ever think about looking for life. It features searing hot temperatures, a thick, hazy atmosphere, raining droplets of sulfuric acid, and potentially active volcanoes spewing hot lava and corrosive gases. It's often been compared to visions of hell, a landscape of fire and brimstone. And yet, scientists have long proposed that regions of Venus' atmosphere, high above the surface, might provide a habitat for life. These ideas have been greeted skeptically, but over the last few years, bits and pieces of evidence have begun to pile up, suggesting there really might be a habitable zone there. More recently, a group of scientists claim to have detected what may be evidence of living organisms there now, perhaps in the form of highly adapted microbes floating in droplets high in the thick, cloudy air. The signs of possible life so far have all been indirect and scant, but together add up to a picture that some researchers say merits further investigation. And instead of waiting for politicians and administrators to approve a mission, they have obtained private funding to send a probe to Venus in 2025, with 2 more missions in the planning stages. In this video, we'll explore the fiery realm of our solar system's hottest planet, Venus. We'll investigate hints of life, examine its composition, and get a sneak peek at the 2025 Venus mission and take a closer look at what kind of life could thrive on this scorching world. But before that, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to never miss another journey through space. David Grinspoon, an astrobiologist at the Planetary Science Institute, says he began to wonder about possible life on Venus in the 1990s. For me, it had to do with the Magellan findings, he says, referring to the spacecraft that returned reams of radar data and revolutionized our image of the planet. Magellan revealed a young surface that had been dramatically reshaped by volcanism. In fact, there were all kinds of hints that it's probably currently geologically active, he says. In May of this year, new evidence from those old radar images showed clear changes in the shape of a volcanic vent. Seeing this very convincing example of an apparently volcanic feature that changed over such a short timescale really adds substantially to the case that Venus today is quite active, Grinspoon says. Magellan data also confirmed the existence of a layer in the clouds that showed a region that is not only habitable, but has energy sources and nutrients. There have been signs of puzzling chemical anomalies in the atmosphere, although none of them are solid enough to be considered evidence for life. With the power of telescopes, astrobiologists have detected a chemical, phosphine, in the thick Venus atmosphere. After much analysis, the scientists assert that something now alive is the only explanation for the chemical source. Some researchers question this hypothesis, and they suggest instead that the gas could result from unexplained atmospheric or geologic processes on a planet that remains mysterious. But the finding will also encourage some planetary scientists to ask whether humanity has overlooked a planet that may have once been more Earth-like than any other world in our solar system. On Earth, phosphine is a byproduct of living organisms produced by microbes in swamps and inside the guts of animals. The team that found the phosphine explored every mechanism they could think of that is capable of making phosphine, and concluded that none could account for the amounts they reported, except life. It is a gas that doesn't belong in the context of its environment on Venus, says Sarah Seeger, a study co-author and planetary scientist at MIT. It really shouldn't be there. It doesn't appear to be made by any chemical or physical process that we can think of. It's only associated with life or with some other chemistry that we do not currently understand. The astronomers, who reported the finding in a pair of papers, have not collected specimens of Venusian microbes, nor have they snapped any pictures of them. But with powerful telescopes, they have detected a chemical, phosphine, in the thick Venus atmosphere. After much analysis, the scientists assert that something now alive is the only explanation for the chemical source. Using an instrument called a spectrometer, astronomers can measure the light they are detecting through the atmosphere and then spread out that spectrum, which will end up looking like a barcode. Those missing chunks of the light spectrum tell us precisely what elements are present in the atmosphere, as we have measured the light absorption of every known element and can use that as a standard scale. If we were to look at a light spectrum coming from Earth, for example, the barcode would be missing the frequencies that correlate to nitrogen, oxygen, and argon, as those compose Earth's atmosphere, 78%, 21%, and 1%, respectively. These light spectrum readings give us access to the fingerprints of the universe, and our ability to read and understand these measurements is only getting better. The group, originally the Venus Lifefinder mission team and now called Morningstar Missions to Venus, has published several reports outlining the evidence so far, along with the types of instruments that could provide definitive answers about the compounds in the planet's atmosphere and their origins. They also discussed the missions needed to deliver those instruments to Venus and allow them to survive long enough to return useful data. The 2025 Venus mission is already funded and under construction. It will use a privately developed rocket system from the company Rocket Lab set to launch from New Zealand in January 2025. It will take a few months to get to Venus, where it will release an instrument package to plunge through the atmosphere and collect data as it falls. The instruments won't have a parachute, so it'll take about an hour before it crash lands on the surface, which leaves roughly 5 minutes to collect data from the cloudy layers. The Rocket Lab mission to Venus will be the first mission ever developed to search for organic matter in the clouds. Its instrument, the Autofluorescence Nephelometer, AFN, will shine a laser onto cloud particles, causing any complex organic molecules within to glow. The AFN will also measure laser light reflected back from the droplets to determine their overall size and shape. In addition to phosphine, astronomers have made possible detections of ammonia, which is also a gas that shouldn't exist on Venus without some biological production mechanism. Other anomalies include tiny unexplained amounts of oxygen, less sulfur dioxide and water vapor than models predict, and indications that the cloud drops are not spherical, which they should be if they are composed of pure sulfuric acid. These biosignatures could indicate that an extreme form of microorganisms, so-called thermoacidophiles, live there. They can grow under conditions of high temperature and low pH fitting Venus's climate. Thermoacidophiles can be found in hot springs and solfataric environments, within deep-sea vents, or in other environments of geothermal activity. They also occur in polluted environments, such as in acid mine drainage. These organisms are extreme survivors and could be the first sign of life beyond our blue planet ever discovered. Although scientists aren't in agreement of this and some believe it to be impossible for there to be life on Venus, we sure hope that this can be proven and explored further in the future, and perhaps one day they will announce that life indeed has been found elsewhere than on Earth. Thank you for joining us on this cosmic journey today as we delved into the secrets of Venus. If your curiosity was sparked, don't forget to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up, and if you're new here and hungry for more space exploration, consider subscribing to our channel and becoming a part of our passionate community. We'd love to hear your thoughts, questions, or even ideas in the comments below for our next adventure. Our cosmic voyage doesn't end here. Stay tuned for more captivating explorations into the universe's secrets. Until then, keep looking up, keep dreaming, and keep exploring. And thank you for watching Daily Space.